So we now know the 24 teams that will make up the 2021-2022 League 2 campaign. And of course, I got my early little picks to see who goes up and who goes down. And I'm going to come at you now. Back once again with another insanely early 2021-2022 League 2 predictions, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new to the channel, boys and girls, where the heck have you been, boys? Smash your subscribe button and get your bang out today with all things League 2 related, Blackburn Rovers related, woo! Football related, we're going to all here. Under one Brewski, that's right, of course, after the conclusion of the National League playoff, which saw Hartlepool get themselves promoted back into the top flight. Not top flight, into the League 2, of course. We now know the 24 teams, and we'll have a little look at where I think they'll finish in, of course, the season, which will kick off in August, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new, of course, smash your subscribe, check out the links down below on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and of course Patreon, and a big shout out to those VIPs. So here we go, boys and girls, here we go. We're going to kick it all off right smack dab in the middle. That's right, of course we do that here. Start with, of course, middle, work our way down, and of course we'll do a bit of a tease and show you the top half of the table. So we'll start right here with, unlucky for some, it will be 13. That's right, boys and girls. Who is in 13th spot for me? They had a nightmare season last time around. It was, of course, Colchester United just finishing 20th last time around. I have them coming at you in 13th spot. I do think they will bounce back, of course, to what they had a couple seasons ago. The management these days still is Hayden Mullins. Of course, going to have a new Capitano as well. Yeah, a couple of seasons back they were in the playoffs, knocking on the door as well to get a little bit closer to the promotion, but unfortunately they couldn't get over the line, and last season was just an absolute nightmare. I think they'll have a bit more stable this season, of course, not competing for the playoffs, but of course bounce back to mid-table, and of course go again as well. So 13th spot for me, it is Colchester United. Into 14th we go, and it is Crawley Town. That's right, Crawley last time around finishing in 12th, so a bit of a downgrade, of course, from this past season, with John Yems as governor as well, still there, still at the helm, and again, season of going a couple of steps backwards, but nothing too major. When you did look at, of course, last season, the congestion in the middle, anyone could have made those last couple of spots in the playoffs. Crawley were in that mix, but they did kind of go a little bit cold towards back end. So I do think they will not have enough in the tank to get over the line. They were surprising to see them that high, and I'm sticking to that fact that they were strong enough to be mid-table. So Crawley, unfortunately, not going to flatter to get promoted, not going to flatter to go down as well. Safe as houses in mid-table. Into 15th, another team that should be up there is Mansfield Town. Of course, Governor Nigel Clough now at the helm. Of course, they finished in 16th last time around. Cloughie has been there for a while, and he'll look to kick on as well. Again, for the past couple of seasons, we keep it on League 2. Mansfield were there or thereabouts into the top half and into amongst them players. Was one of the favourites, of course, but not this time. I just think this division is going to be quite insanely strong with the management that's been appointed to take over the reins, and of course some of the unfortunate guys that did miss out last time around. I think, of course, the strong clubs that have been relegated for the likes of Bristol Rovers and Co. But Mansfield Town will be safe as houses, 15th again. What is that? A bit of a downgrade. A bit of a promotion, really, but nothing to get excited about. Into 16th we go. It'll be Port Vale again. It should have been their season last season, but not this. Again, not this time. 13th they finished. They struggled for the most part of the season. In fact, turn that around. They started well, then ended up sort of towards that bottom end, ultimately finishing in 13th. Tremendously strong end. I could get this completely wrong, or I could get it all spot on at the end. I do think they will be more close to the mid-table than they will be to the drop. The governor these days is Darryl Clark, good manager, especially at this level as well. They've still got some of the familiar names that caused some problems towards the back end. So this could be a little bit wrong, but again, these are my early door picks. We will revisit them, take a look at the squads a little bit more detailed, and of course make a better pick. But for now, I'm going with mid-table and in 16th. Wow. Into 17th we go, and it is Walsall. They've been on a bit of a mega slump these days. New manager as well for the new campaign. Last time around they did finish in 19th. A bit of a small step in the right direction, not really making much movements as they try to get closer to the top spell. I remember them from League 1 when Rovers were in League 1, but unfortunately they're not going to be there or thereabouts. Matthew Taylor's coming in to take over the reins, and he's done so on the 19th of May. So Matthew Taylor, Walsall, unfortunately mid-table for you, actually closer to the drop than anything else. So 17th Walsall. Into 18th we have Stevenage. That's right, unfortunately for them. Last time around, where did they finish? They finished actually quite high, well, reasonably high, 14th as well. Again, they were in that cluster. Where are they? Actually, quite a long way short now in the end. 13 points shy of that 7th spot. Quite comfortably away from mid-table. And of course, I've got them down where I've got them down into 18th right now. 18th was 54 points. They were 6 points away from that. It's going to be tight, guys. It is going to be tight. I think you're going to be safe, though, quite comfortably safe. It's not like you're going to be a couple of points close to that drop zone. I think you're going to be mid-table, quite secure. But unfortunately, just on the back end of the wrong results. I think you'll just be another League Two for another season. Kicking on forward into 19th, we have Harrogate, who finished in 17th last time around. They're going to go backwards a little bit. Second season syndrome. Nope, it's Simon Weaver is your governor these days, or still is. Of course, they're riding off that. They're riding off that euphorism from last time around. And of course, we'll try to make progress, but I think they're going to go have a little bit of a wobble again. Be safe as houses. Maybe just kind of get some years under your belt. Of course, you should be able to establish yourself as an actual league club and not just one that's a bit of a yo-yo. So you want to make sure that you stick around. Don't go pushing the goalposts a little bit. Just kind of keep it easy, and you'll be a-okay in the end. So how to get into 19th? Not great for them, but of course another season in the 4th tier of English football. Into 20th, I have Oldham. Yep, they have made a bit of a swoop management-wise. They've got in Keith Curl in there, and again last time around they didn't do that well. They finished in 80th, so I'm going backwards again. Keith Curl should be enough. He's done okay at Northampton Town. So again, I might have to revisit this and take a look. I want to see what they're like in pre-season. I want to see what sort of transfers they bring in. Of course, officially, the transfer window doesn't really open until, or the contract situations don't really come to a conclusion until the end of June. But for right here, right now, I'm going to go with into 20th. It's a bad call, but they've got money, or not got money. They've got an owner that's trying to make the right appointments. Harry Kuehl didn't work out. Now Keith Curl, can he get the job done? We'll have to wait and see. Into 21st spot, we do have Barrow. That's right. I think they're just going to stick around as well. Mark Cooper's coming in. Where was he at before that? He was is he actually the manager? Yeah, he is. He's coming in from Forest Green Rovers. Good appointment, strong appointment, but have they got the resources to get over the line? I just don't know just yet. We'll have to see. He came in on the back end of May. Of course, he's been at the job about a month now. And I have some transfer business for them, and we'll see how well they will go. Again, sticking around at 21st, what have I got? 20 spot, 21st. It's kind of wipe your face, really. There's no major change, and just like Harrogate, just kind of make sure you stick around and don't go crazy. You shouldn't be really shooting for the moon just yet. You've got to get the resources, get some time under your belt, son, and then of course make a move for the mid-table. But yeah, another season of struggle, but I think they got the right man to keep them alive. In the 22nd spot, which is again the last safety spot, it is the new boy. It is Hartlepool Town or Hartlepool United. Scrap that. I need to practice my verbiage on that one. Of course, they did finish last time round in the National League. Where was it? Where did they finish? They actually finished in a 4th spot, but of course got over the line through the playoffs, beating Torquay in penalties. Of course, the governor for them these days is Dave Shonglio, so they'll fancy the chances again. Just sticking around for safety. Last time they were in the league, they had a nightmare season to forget. So it's not going to be pretty. It is not going to be pretty. They could be a much better team than I'm giving them credit for, but I think they're just going to stick around. And again, be safe by one spot. Into 23rd we go, and it is Scunthorpe United. Wow, how they have fallen. They were knocking on the door for Championship promotion in League One when we were knocking on the door as well a couple of seasons back, but now they are going to go down to the National League. I see them rooted to the foot of the table. Neil Cox is your manager these days. Wow, that's an absolute shocker. He's still not Neil Cox. There's so many similar names. Formerly assistant manager from Notts County and Wimbledon. This is his first time professional gig since Leek Town. I just can't see it. They were struggling last time on 22nd spot. I have them going down one more spot as well. So unfortunately for Scunthorpe, I just don't see anything bright in the horizon. So we'll see. Again, revisit these a little bit later on, but I do see you getting relegated. And of course, being a surprise package to go down as well. It's the final spot. Here's another new boy. Here's Sutton United. Again, I don't really know too much about you guys. I'm only just starting to pay some real attention to the National League. So you're kind of going under the radar a little bit for me. You could be really good, but I'm just anticipating you to be a pretty poop. Of course, based in London, Gander Green. The currently manager is Matt Gray. Again, don't know too much about you. So just kind of like Barrow last season, I did think you would be. I actually gave Barrow a benefit of the doubt, but I think Sutton will struggle this one. I think they could be an instant relegation for them, and unfortunately not enjoy their first experience in my eyes anyway, or my recollection, to be in the division. So they'll struggle 24th, unfortunately, but I could be wrong. So that's the bottom half. What about the top? Into the 12th spot. Here we go, kicking on off with Swindon Town, of course, relegated from League One last time around. I'll fancy the chance to come back the first attempt this time around, but I don't see it. Of course, when they did get promoted, they had goals in Ian Doyle. They have been making some transfer businesses so far. John McGreal is the manager. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, he's actually a new manager. Tommy Wright was the governor who of course, was at the helm last time around when they got relegated. So I'm not too sure about John McGreal. I'll have a quick look at his history of his management at Colchester United, maybe when they were in the playoffs as well. So, he might be a good manager. Mid-table, though, I think safe as houses. Again, don't go crazy. Just kind of keep your heads. Otherwise, you could get sucked into it. A lot of teams who have got relegated follow that with another season of struggle. I think a season of 12th. Again, when you look at 12th spot last season, they were just less than double digits, give or take, from just shy over to double digits, but still within the mix of playoffs. But unfortunately, I just don't see it for Swindon this time. I don't know where the goals are going to come from. To 11th spot we go now. It is Northampton Town, yet another relegated side, of course, coming down with Swindon and Bristol Rovers to be, of course, the next, back into this division once again. The management at Northampton Town is John Brady. Not really sure about his legacy. He's been with the Northampton Town as manager for the youth levels from 2016. I'm not really sure if he's the man to get them back at the first attempt. I actually might have given them the benefit of the doubt of being at this high up. I think they could actually have a bit of a season of struggle. Of course, the days where they had Scotty Wharton at the back, Chris Good as well, have gone. So that airtight defence has been diminished. And again, it's going to be an interesting season if they can bounce back. I do have them in mid-table early doors, and we'll have to take a look at where what they've brought in reinforcements wise when we get close to the start of the season. But again, not the best start for Northampton Town, but we'll see again in a month's time. Into 10th spot we go, top 10. Here it is Carlisle United. They flattered with us last time around to try and get promoted. They actually finished in 10th last time around, so it's kind of wipe your face really, kind of no real major change. I was hoping they'd get promoted, and I do hope that they can get promoted this time around, but I just don't see it. Chris Beach is your manager, same as last time around, no change. But the fact that they kind of had that nightmare collapse when they're in the top three for a good part of the season kind of lingers over me still, and I just can't see them bouncing back straight away to get back into those playoffs. Unfortunately, yeah, top 10 for them. So we'll see who will be in the mix next. Into number 9, here we go, and it is Rochdale, of course, relegated last round. Brian Barry Murphy is a former football manager great. That's right, if you play the game. He's only 42 years of age. It's his first management role. Of course, he actually was at manager when they got relegated in 2019. Well, not actually, not. It's another 9 spot. We have another relegated side. It is Rochdale, of course. Yes, I've gone bold on this top 9 spot. But when I've just looked at who the manager is, Brian Barry Murphy, of course, football manager fame, championship manager fame, of course, legend back then as a player for lower league. But has he got the mettle as a manager? He's been as manager for Rochdale since 2019, but unfortunately, he got a relegation on his resume. I just don't think he will be able to get over the line and get them promoted back at the first attempt. I think a season of mid-table for them, but ultimately not the greatest resume for Rochdale. So 9th for them. Into 8th spot, here we go. We have got Newport County. That's right. Who were they last time around? They actually finished in 5th in the playoffs. Unfortunately, got ousted in the end. Ultimately, Morecambe came out on top with promotion. Again, I think they're just going to fall shy from those playoffs. One spot adrift. And of course, who do we have as again the manager? Michael Flynn, decent manager as well. Can he get them back to respond from that playoff woe and get them promoted at the next attempt? I don't know. They're going to be in that mix. 8th spot is in that cluster. And again, what did 8 points get you last time? Or 8th spot was 71 points. Of course, the unlucky spot in the world, not getting those top 7 spots in the end. So 8th spot for me. So they'll just fall shy. Into the playoffs we go. Here we go. Who are the lucky buggers? I've got Leyton Orient, of course, coming at you from 11th last time around. They've made a a wise managerial appointment, bringing in Kenny Jackett, formerly the books of Portsmouth, formerly the books of Wolves, and they'll try and get themselves in that mix as well. Darren Pratley on the books as well, a good man manager, a good capitano for the boys as well. So Kenny Jackett, big hire, of course, coming in from Leyton Orient in 11th. To make a huge statement of intent into the top 7. They might even do better than that. You know what? They might even do better than that. So for me, Leyton Orient, top 7. Who joins them in the playoffs into 6? It will be, of course, for always in the playoffs, it is Exeter City. Of course, they didn't make it last time around. They finished in 9th. So they will look to make a respond this time around. Matt Taylor is the manager there. Of course, they got goals in that team. And, of course, I think they will bounce back again and get over the line. They were a couple of points shy. 3 points shy last round. So we're in that mix. 3 points off of 5th, might I add. So it's they've got the repetition. They've been in this sort of situation for the past few seasons, and they'll look to make another step beyond this around and get in the playoffs once again. So this could be like the 18th time lucky for Exeter City to get promoted. So into 6th for me, Exeter. Into 5th we go. It is Matey boys, Barton's boys, Bristol Rovers. Of course, I thought it was a wise managerial appointment from Bristol Rovers. I thought they were going to get the best out of them, but unfortunately, no. Relegated last round. I do think they'll bounce back at the first attempt, at least get into the playoffs and be in that discussion to see if they can get into the playoffs, and of course maybe even automatics. Of course, went down with a bit of a whimper last time around, but this time I think they're full season. Barton, maybe if he can get this court business out of the way, they might kick them on forward up into the automatics. But I think for me, I've got them in 5th. And I'll do A-OK with that. Into 4th, though, we go with Forest Green Rovers. It's the Vegans, that's right. Of course, 6th place last round. Unlucky losers, were they in the playoffs? No, they actually got ousted by Newport County last round. So after a good turnaround, though, they did win one of the games, I'm pretty sure. 4-3, 7-goal thriller, but unfortunately, no good. This time around, of course, Rob Edwards still as your manager. In fact, strap that. Of course, Rob Edwards is now your manager for Forest Green Rovers, taking over the reins on the 27th of May after a failed attempt. And of course, Jimmy Ball has moved on to pastures new, wherever that may be. So I think they'll be still in the mix. Of course, the momentum's with Forest Green. They'll keep them going, of course, move to the right direction. But again, unfortunately, not make top automatics and be in the top 4 instead. Into the 3 automatic spots we go now. And it is a bit of a personal affair on this one. We've got number 3. It is Salford. They're finally getting over the line. They've got the right man to do it. It is Team GB. That's right. Gary Bowyer, of course, taking over the reins for Salford these days. Been there since the 23rd of March, and he's signed a new deal. Finished 9th last time around. It would be a huge boost for them. But again, get a right pre-season under the belts, and they'll fancy their chances to make automatics. I have them in the bronze medal spot, but of course that will automatically guarantee top 3. And of course, League 1 football for the next time around. Into 2nd spot we go now, and it is Bradford City. Of course, they've got the right man at the helm as well. They've got Derek Adams, formerly the books of course, Plymouth, Morecambe, of course, last time around with a tremendous season for them, finishing as playoff winners. And I think he'll go one better this time around with Bradford, with the right resources. They've been waiting for this manager. They of course had that duo at the back end of last season, which didn't really work out, but now they've got the right man, and I think they're going to do very, very well for themselves and get into 2nd spot. But of course, top spot goes to Tranmere Rovers. That's right, Tranmere bloody Rovers. Of course, they brought in Matey Boy back. Matey Boy's back. Where are you, Tranmere? Mickey Mellon has returned after his spell over in Dundee United. He did okay with them as well, but he did fantastic with Tranmere, but he left, I think, after the relegation season from League 1. So they'll bounce back with him, and of course they'll go the distance. They have lost Johnny Vaughan, or whatever his name is, Vaughan, who did have the goals for Tranmere, but I still think they're going to have too much in the tank to get over the line. The momentum's with them. They'll have the fans back, and of course they'll go the distance. So there you go, boys and girls. There you bloody go. So there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. Those are your 24 teams for the League 2 campaign for 2021-2022. What are your thoughts and opinions about that? Do you think Tranmere can get promoted? What about Bradford? Do you think they'll get over the line? And what about Salford? Have I made a bold push for those? Well, yes. I'm going in with a little bit with my heart with Team GB. I want to see them do very, very well. And of course, I want to see Derek Adams do fantastic well. I always tip Bradford, and they stink. But this time around, I think they're going to go the distance. And of course, they've got the right man to do it. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below, and we'll look forward to seeing you when we, of course, cover this week by week, prediction-wise, for League 2. Make sure you give the video some love and smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe, check out the links down below. I'm on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and of course Patreon as well if you want to support the channel in another way. That's the best place to do it. Of course, we'll revisit these picks closer to the kickoff, but until then, that's it. I'm out of here.